Good morning, guys. I'm up about maybe half an hour, and I've come up here to a place that I come and sit quite often in the mornings to sort of greet the sun. It's the morning of the solstice, the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. And yeah, this was kind of part of the plan. Last year I got up before dawn at about 4:45 and did my ritual at dawn, but I kind of knew this year, between one thing and another, that I wouldn't want to do that. That it would be a bit a bit taxing. So I missed dawn by about 2.5 hours, but I think it was actually raining up until about 7:30 anyway. So I'm up here now. As you can see, it's raining to the south, but I think it's moving away from me. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So yeah, the sun is pretty high in the sky already, but it's really peaceful up here, and there's hardly anybody about. I've seen maybe two people, because on a Sunday morning in Ireland, people don't get out of bed until relatively late. So it's really nice to be up here on my own. And I'm going to have most of the day to myself. I'm meeting a friend for a few hours, but apart from that, I'm going to be having the day pretty much completely to myself. And I really haven't thought about what I'm going to do yet, but I think I'm going to probably make some art. Yeah, just do crafty things. I'll think about it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to make the time to actually do kind of celebratory type things and see what comes up. And maybe that'll then inform my ritual later. Maybe it'll be a very simple ritual. Maybe I'll just meditate or do trance work or something like that, something simple. But I just wanted to show you this scene this morning. It's probably not coming out particularly well on camera, but it's just a really, really beautiful spot. It's about 10 or 15 minutes walk from my parents' house. So yeah, very lucky, very, very blessed. I thought I'd just share something with you guys that I've been doing in my morning daily practice. This is Tarot in the Spirit of Zen. And it's kind of a guidebook to the Osho Zen Tarot, which is a deck I don't actually own. And when I bought this book, I didn't actually know anything about the deck, and I don't think the deck itself was for sale in the shop. I just picked it up on a whim, when something just calls to you, and I picked it up, and I really barely looked at it at all, and I just bought it. And it sat on my shelf for a while, and then when I actually came to it, as soon as I picked it up, I went, oh, this is a guidebook to the Osho Zen Tarot. So it's a more in-depth book than the little book that comes with the actual deck, I believe. Each card, as you can see, has at least 2 pages. Some of them have a lot more of text about that card. They vary a fair bit. Some of them maybe are only a page and a half, but some of them are as many as 3 or 4 pages. So it's quite in-depth. And basically what I've been doing is I've been drawing a card from the Shadowscapes tarot, which has been my go-to deck for my daily draw in the morning for a while now. So I draw a card from that deck, and then I go and read what the Osho Zen has to say about that card. Now, the Osho Zen tarot is quite different to your standard tarot deck. He has kind of applied keywords to each card, and some of the meanings are fairly different to the standard Rider-Waite definitions. So sometimes the image, and particularly the direction that Stephanie Premoon Law, I never know how to pronounce her name, sometimes they differ quite a lot from the kind of take that she's taken on the kind of Rider-Waite, because the Shadowscapes tarot does have a Rider-Waite kind of take to it, but she's kind of emphasized certain aspects maybe of the Rider-Waite images and kind of gone a slightly different direction with some of her cards. And then, like I say, some of the Osho Zen cards are really quite different to Rider-Waite anyway. So sometimes I draw a card and I read the definition, and it really hasn't anything much to do with the image, but sometimes it does, and very often, or pretty much always, it lends an interesting dimension to the Shadowscapes card. It gave me something very different to think about. And the Tarot in the Spirit of the Zen book is it's fantastic for the morning, for a little piece of spiritual advice to set me up in my day. So I've really, really been enjoying doing that as as part of my daily routine, my kind of morning daily spiritual routine. I forgot to show you this before I put the art materials away, but I dragged it out again just to show you. I like to do some artwork on the Sabbaths. I like to take the time to start something or create something. I mightn't be finishing this picture today. As you can see, it's only partially done. And what I like to do for this, and this is very often what I do when I do artwork these days, I see it as devotional artwork, and what I like to do is just to allow the image to just arise. I don't plan, I don't sketch, I just start putting colour down and see where it goes. So I start with maybe a very basic image in my head, a very, very simple idea of what I'm going to create on the page, and then it kind of goes from there. So and yeah, I'm really liking how this is turning out so far, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it goes. Like I say, I don't think I'll get this finished today, but hopefully in the next couple of days or weeks I will get the chance to finish this picture, because it's been a while since I actually finished a full picture that I, was really happy with. I often start things and it takes me a really long time to actually get round to finishing them often, and they might stay in quite a sketchy, scrappy kind of state, which is fine, but it's nice to have kind of a finished picture every now and then, something that I'm actually kind of happy with the finished product. So the actual moment of the summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere has just passed. So the Northern Hemisphere is now starting to tip away from the sun again on its orbit around the sun. I like to do this. I like to spend some time at the altar at the actual moment of the solstices and equinoxes. I really like that feeling. I generally don't do my ritual at this time. I'll do my ritual tonight. But I do like to kind of mark the moment and kind of meditate on what's actually happening in the relationship between the earth and the sun at that moment. So I lit some candles and I actually drew a card from the Shaman's Oracle, and I drew the Spirit of Love, which is just a really beautiful card for me to have drawn. I was drawing that as sort of the card, the message for me for this midsummer celebration. So I've had a bit of company there. I had a friend over, and then someone else is coming over very soon. So yeah, I'm hopefully going to have a really nice evening. And yeah, I'll be doing my ritual later, so I may or may not show anything about the altar at that point. I don't think there's going to be anything to see on the altar. I think it's going to be just the usual setup. So this might be the end of this midsummer vlog. It's well after 11 o'clock and there's still quite a lot of light in the sky. In fact, I think the horizon won't go completely dark at all tonight in Dublin. Hope you all had a wonderful solstice.